nothing but the dog in me.
One must die, chase the cat.
Welcome to Posse Presents. I am over the moon tonight to bring to you Bikers Against Animal Cruelty. Folks, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
With me, I have President Jan Lewis. Thank you for showing up.
Of course.
Vice President Greg Belcher.
Hi.
Thank you so much. We've got Secretary Sharron Shea. Thank you so much for coming. And Treasurer John Kish.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
For those of you who are not familiar, you guys are an organization that I've admired from afar.
There's feedback on some mic.
Feedback on whose mic?
I'm not sure. All I hear is
Alrighty.
crazy feedback.
All right, that's a real great way to start the show. Why not? How's that, Zach? I don't hear a word you're saying, young man. I apologize. Nothing like live TV, right?
That's all right.
We can't edit this out. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it happens.
Does that make a difference?
It's coming from either 5 or 1.
Either 5 or 1.
Here's your hair.
So it's either one of you gentlemen.
Yeah. Damn beards.
Yeah, right? Maybe it's the beards.
Static electricity.
That's great. If you guys can just reach down and grab your, where it's connected.
Mm-hmm.
This is highly fun, and I apologize.
Is that better?
How are we doing, Zach? No?
It's connected.
Alrighty. Maybe it's touching the chair. Say again? Alright, we're going to check all the connections. This did not happen on the mic check, and I'm just really over the moon today with all of the stuff that's happening. Let's see.
Curious.
Are we still having a problem? It's there. All right, so this is going to be a great recording. Alrighty then, Speedo, maybe you can sneak over and check the box. I don't know. Check the box over here. I've curled on the floor for you.
All right.
Yeah.
That's another
See?
episode.
Nice and fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
All right.
His shirt's blue, so he's completely transparent.
Okay. Well, we're gonna try to continue, and like I said, there's nothing like live TV, right?
No
That's
problem.
Okay. How did Bikers Against Animal Cruelty come to be? What is some of the history? How did you guys get a start?
Well, there was a group of us that would have annual parties. We were all like-minded. We were all concerned about the animal welfare. We would have annual parties, and at the parties, we started by collecting things that we would donate to shelters. Food, linens, cleaning items. Well, as time wore on, we started getting more and more. There was approximately 22 of us, and the original 22, we did right around the time that Michael Vick was caught abusing those animals. We decided we wanted to become a more organized group. We took our love of motorcycles and our like-minded and the concern for the welfare of the animals, and we came up with the idea of Bikers Against Animal Cruelty. There was a mom and pop who kind of thought this creation up as well, and that would be Cindy and VJ Pergolese. But there was originally 22 members, and we grew to where we are today, over almost 100 strong at this point.
That's amazing. That's very cool. I mean, I remember the first time I heard about you guys, and I was just like, wow. Because really, anybody who knows me knows, I'm like the biker chicks. I've been called a biker chick wannabe, whatever, you know what I mean? But motorcycles and the lifestyle are near and dear to my heart. And animals, I was with the shelter when I found you guys, and I was like, oh, That's just perfect.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So basically, you started out by contributing, and then you decided to do your own thing. So what was your particular, I mean, like Against Animal Cruelty, explain that, like how did you?
Well, basically, who we are is we are an organized group of compassionate motorcycle enthusiasts. We advocate against animal cruelty and neglect, and we promote responsible pet ownership. We do this through defraying the cost of emergency vet care for the voiceless victims of animal abuse and neglect. We really try to concentrate more on the animals that have no owner, that have no voice, that are truly the victims of abuse and neglect. Those are the animals that are most at need at this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you guys do a lot of things within the community. What are some of the types of things that you do?
Well, we have different events throughout the year. We have motorcycle runs. We have our annual old-fashioned biker rodeo and adoption event. And
Because what's one without the other, right?
right.
Right.
And our most recent event coming up is Wolfstock on April 19th.
Yep, and we'll touch on that. We have the poster.
Okay.
So what are some of the other kinds of
Some
things
of the
that
things
you do?
that we do is, for an example, if an animal comes into a shelter, like an ACO may pick up an animal, and the animal will be, say, have a broken leg or have some severe damage that needs vetting, emergency vetting. A lot of times the city has no option, they have no funding.
Absolutely.
So unfortunately they'll euthanize that animal.
Yep.
People like us will step forward and take care of it. We will see that animal go from shelter, bring it to the vet, have it taken care of, and now it's available to go to a rescue and rescue to forever home. And that's the ultimate goal.
Absolutely, yeah, that's, it's very true that the towns and the municipal shelters, they don't have the means to
Right.
take care of severe cases. A lot of times, the animals they pick up are the next best thing to roadkill,
Absolutely.
and they have one choice.
Right.
So you guys
We give them
clearly give
another
the-
choice.
Yep, you give them a new
Absolutely.
lease on life,
Absolutely.
and you
And-
make it possible for them to have their happily ever after.
Absolutely, and the variety is quite amazing. From the town duck that got, the town goose that got shot by an arrow,
remember
walking
that.
around with the arrow. Yeah, well, somebody had to step up and take care of that animal.
Yep.
And we did. To the pig that fell off the slaughter truck.
Oh,
even
really?
that we've saved, yes.
Oh, that's
And she
awesome.
lived the rest of her life in a very, very happy place, Happy Feet Retreat.
That's
So,
so cool.
yep.
That one I wasn't familiar with.
Yes, and even more recently, we contributed to helping get Ziggy Star here in Mystic.
Okay.
We helped bring
Seal.
Yeah,
the
he's a
seal
Okay.
from California.
Wow. And what was the story there?
And that was actually in the news quite a bit, and the seal has
It's like a neurological.
neurological
It
problems.
wasn't able to take care of itself, wasn't able to hunt for food.
Okay.
So if it got released back into the wild, it wouldn't have made it.
Right.
So
Right.
he
we were
got
able to-
separated from the
Yeah.
rest of the pack, and
Aw,
he got rescued out there, and they shipped him back here.
Yeah,
that's
that's
very
good.
cool.
About a
Yeah,
seven
so we
Mystic.
help with that.
He's in Mystic now.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
So it's not just dogs and it's not just cats.
No,
No,
anything.
Any animal at all.
Any
Yeah.
animal
Absolutely.
that's a victim of a neglect or abuse at the hands of humans, it's really an awful situation for those animals.
Yes, it is. And it's something that, it's become more prevalent, and I think
Absolutely.
Right.
we're learning about more of them because of social media.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cases like puppy dough, which I'm sure you're familiar
Very
with.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And, people just, I don't know how you can sleep with yourself at night if
Yeah.
you've hurt an animal or another living creature.
And
I
the
just-
scary part is it's only one step to go from hurting an animal to hurting a human.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
People don't realize how close of a step that is,
Yep.
and how abuse to humans start with abuse to animals.
Yeah.
If we can educate and stop the pattern from early on from our children. We've run programs where we've done a pet essay program for the schools. Any school age children, different categories for different ages. And, we were looking for true responsible pet ownership. And each one, there was one winner in each category. But it also encouraged them to really think about what they were going to do to make their children, our first babies, to make the children make their pets' lives better.
Yeah. And that's,
So-
you know, education's very important.
Absolutely.
It really is. I mean, people don't realize that their life is an example to others. And how they treat animals.
Yes,
and
definitely.
how they, you know, care for them. And, you know, this throwaway society that we live in, you know, you get an animal, I'm moving, okay, well, you know, we're just going to dump it at a shelter, or, you know.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, very,
Open
very,
the
very
door,
often.
let it go.
Right now.
Yeah, we do have, that's kind of how we got lucky.
Okay.
She adopted him from us. Not really adopted him from us, but got lucky through us. And she ended up losing her home or her apartment. And we went back in, took him back up again because he got worse. He started having mange. He just started getting kind of stressed and whatnot. We got him out of that situation. Found another foster home that he's in, that he's thriving, doing really well.
Okay, so now that we're talking about Lucky, let's run with it. How did you guys ever get him?
Lucky was actually BAAC's very first animal that we took on, and Sharron can tell a little bit about this, but really, he was 8 months old, I believe, at the time, and he was one of the worst cases of mange we've ever seen.
Really? Zach,
Head to
let's put
toe.
the pictures of Lucky up while we're talking about him.
Head to toe, no fur left. Very, very thin, very sick. And BAAC took him in, and we took him from foster. I mean, we took him in from shelter, brought him all the way through to a forever home, or so we thought. But one of the nice things that happens with us is we become friendly with people who adopt through us, and we are lucky enough to be able to follow that animal all the way through that animal's life.
And that's important. And Lucky is up on the screen now, and Lucky is beautiful.
6 years later, Lucky needs a forever home.
He got a beautiful
He
smile.
is just a love bug. He is needs to be in a one animal family.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's just, you know, a little bit of a be careful with other animals, so he needs to be the only animal. But
He's very photogenic.
Yeah.
but he truly is a really good boy.
He just needs to
really
be the
is.
center of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's a niche adoption, as you know.
Right.
Yep.
You know, most of us have any number of animals if we're animal lovers.
Oh, yeah.
True.
So the perfect situation for Lucky would be someone who maybe just lost their only pet
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and,
Right.
you know, can open their home to him,
Yeah.
and he
Wonderful.
can be the only.
It would be a wonderful
Yeah,
place.
somebody that kind of knows the breed a little bit too would be nice, just because they're going to have a lot of people looking at you,
Yeah.
kind of funny, like, okay, stay away from that people or that dog, you know, which is so opposite of what they really truly are.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
He's
Pit bulls
high.
just get
Yeah.
the worst rap.
He's high energy, but he is very trainable, and he knows basic commands. And work with him, he can do so much. He wants the attention.
Yeah.
He thrives on attention.
Don't we all?
Absolutely.
Really, at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
That's why there's not much difference.
Yeah, you know,
when it
people
comes
don't
down.
understand that when they get any pet, it's not
Right.
leave them in a room,
Yeah.
don't spend time at home, leave them for extended hours, keeps throwing them in the crate. You know, you throw an active animal in a crate and only
Absolutely.
let it out to do whatever,
I
and then
know.
throw it back in the crate because it's too much for you. That just
That's
perpetuates
sinful.
the
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah, it's no quality of life.
It's no quality of life,
Right.
and they're going to be twice as wound up for spending all that time in the crate.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exercise and being part of the family,
Yep.
that's key.
Absolutely.
So
Love.
Absolutely. Yep.
exactly what you're looking for
Yeah,
Lucky.
yeah. Our dog's got a queen-size bed to sleep in.
Must say ours has our king size bed.
Yeah,
She may be this big, but she's this big, and
Oh, yeah.
we won't get into the 200 and something pounds worth of animals that
Absolutely.
clog my bed. I sleep like a pretzel. Are you kidding me? So anyway, we'll take the camera back, Zach, and Lucky is just gorgeous. I can't. When I clicked on the pictures, I was like, wow, that's a nice looking dog, and you could tell,
Thank
like you
you.
said, beautiful smile
Yeah,
and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks
very smart.
smart as a whip.
Yeah, it's that pity smile they have. They all have
Yeah.
a nice little smile.
Yeah, and you know, there's
Yeah.
nothing like a pit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As much as people, you know,
And he's been failed by humans so many times in his life. He needs a forever home. And this time we want it to be forever.
Yeah.
yeah. So if
Yes.
anybody wants to find out more about Lucky,
They can go to bikersagainstanimalcruelty.org, which is our
Okay.
website. So,
and one more time, that's
bikersagainstanimalcruelty.org.
okay. So anyway, if somebody can give Lucky what he needs, a forever home that's an only dog, no cats.
No cats.
No cats?
No other animals.
Okay, so he needs to be an only. Like
And
you
he
said,
probably would be better in it for in an all adult
adult home.
yeah. And that's not because he's a danger to kids,
No.
but he's so high energy
Absolutely.
that kids sometimes and big, strong, powerful dogs,
Right.
they don't know their own strength.
Right.
That's true.
You know, they run around and they
knock
knock
'em
kids over.
Right. He is a
Right.
runner.
Yeah.
Most definitely is a runner. So.
And, you know,
Great at agility.
yeah.
Yes.
That would be
yes.
cool.
He's very, very trainable. He's a very intelligent dog and responds very well to the discipline.
Yeah.
So,
So, you know, his home is out there, and I
Absolutely.
hope you guys find that for him. I'm sure you will.
we will.
Oh, it'll happen.
But,
Yeah.
but
It's gonna be very-
avenues like such is what helps us to do
Yeah.
so.
And by all means, you know, when he gets to a point where you can bring him on, you're more than welcome.
All right.
I'd love
you.
to meet
We could
him.
do that.
Thank
Get some
you.
sloppy pit bull kisses.
He's full of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, I mean, they are, and that's just part of the deal. You know,
Absolutely.
If you know what to expect, then it's
Right.
all good, right? So, who can be a part of Bikers Against Animal Cruelty? How do you work that?
Basically, anybody can become a member. We have riding members, non-riding members, volunteers, just about anyone, honestly. We welcome anyone to come down, hang out with us, come see us, come check us out, see what we're all about.
Well, once upon a time, you had to have a bike,
Well,
or you had to be a rider.
And
you had to be.
We have
yeah.
levels of membership.
Because
A-
I
a full-
remember I was so disappointed.
Well, we've changed
No,
things.
this has
We've
changed
actually
now,
changed
because
things.
we have different levels of membership, which the full-fledged member would be a motorcycle riding member, full riding member. The next would be the backup crew,
Which is truly a full
which
member
is a full
still,
member
but
that
they just
doesn't
don't
ride.
ride.
Right.
Yes. They'll still get votes.
and then,
Right.
absolutely,
Yeah,
They
so when we have
still
our meetings,
full-
we
full,
still
full
have
right.
members, they're
still
just
active.
not riding members.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the volunteers who
Right.
choose to be able to just come and help us at certain events or whenever we need a little backup.
So that's just like a volunteer for any other organization.
Pretty
much, yes.
Set up,
Exactly.
breakdown,
Yeah.
you know, whatever else it takes to get an event together
Right.
and going and whatever else
And
might be needed.
Right. We're currently actively looking for fosters because the need arises.
Yeah, see,
So,
fosters, I mean, if there were more fosters, and I get
That's what
on
we're
this,
looking for now.
I
right.
get on this high horse all the time, you know, if you can do it and you're not, you're making it really rough for organizations to help animals.
Yeah, fostering is very, very important. I mean, it takes a kind of, I don't want to say a special person, but it's hard to have the dog for experience a lot of time
Yeah.
and not fall in love with it. It's hard, but
Exactly.
honestly,
the
once
best
you
thing
get
you
that
can
dog
do.
get adopted, it feels so great.
It does.
Yeah, we've had a
It's
few
even
in the
just as
past.
good if it's a failed foster and it
Yeah. It's
becomes
even
a forever
better.
Yes,
home.
actually, one of the dogs I own now is a failed foster. We were fostering her, tried to get her adopted out, and I was like, no, we're going to keep this one.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I've
she's ours.
fostered and I've shed plenty of tears, you know, when it's time to say goodbye.
Absolutely.
I shed tears when I see their pictures, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a hard thing, but it's the best thing. You can't keep them all.
Absolutely.
You know, your situation may not be the best situation for the animal. And you really, I always say you have to foster as carefully as you would adopt because you need all the animals in your home to always be able to get along. Because that's where a lot of the problems start.
We
And, you know, if you can open your heart to just one more, even temporarily,
We have a perfect example of how a foster works. We had an animal that came in to an ACO. It had a growth on its stomach. It turned out the growth was malignant. The city was going to put the animal down. We stepped up, we took the animal, we vetted the animal, we gave it surgery, we put it in one of our fosters. And one of our members, actually, our animal welfare coordinator, actually, is the one who took Harley in. There was a 2-month period where we had this dog. We had to send him for a second surgery because we didn't get clean margins. All the time, 2 months, the owner was looking for the dog.
oh wow.
That dog would have been put down
Yeah.
if had we not stepped up. For 2 months, that dog's owner, and in the 2 months, all these horrific things happened to that family. Their home burnt down. The mom ended up in the hospital with smoke inhalation. All this, but the whole time, the father was looking for the dog, and there was a miscommunication between the two cities. In the end, they found us. We checked into it to make sure the story was legitimate, and we were able to reunite that dog with its family. That's what it's
beautiful.
all about.
Yep.
But
That
had
was
it not
awesome.
been for the foster, we
Yep.
would have had no place to put that
Yeah,
dog.
absolutely.
Had it not been for an organization like us, that dog would have been put down
Yeah,
in the
would've been
first
down.
place.
That's amazing.
It was a beautiful ending.
Yeah,
It's
that was a
on
little bit of a
YouTube,
tear, a little bit of a tear jerker.
little blurb, but it makes me cry to this day watching
Yeah,
our
I'm
own
the same
video.
way. I'm the same way. You're making me tear up. I mean, because I can remember a situation a couple of years ago where there was a dog, there was a deadline, there was a whole bunch of them, it was time up, and on the last day, at like 10 minutes before the pound closed, the woman had, I guess, given the dog to the boyfriend who traded it off, and she'd been looking for the dog, and she found it on Facebook and showed up
Yeah.
just in time.
That's
I
amazing.
have to say that Facebook definitely helps
Networking.
networking
Yes.
the dogs. I mean, it's unbelievable how that works.
Yes,
So-
it's amazing. You know, social media for, you know, as much as you hate to see like everybody's bagel for breakfast and look what they're eating for dinner and skip all the personal drama,
Yeah.
the sharing and the
Absolutely.
networking for the animals
Wonderful.
it's just such an important tool. The internet can do so
Absolutely.
much. And
Absolutely.
I
clearly
agree.
that, you know,
That's exactly how it all came about.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And for people who are like, yeah, Facebook, no, it's a beautiful thing. It
Yes,
really
it
is.
can be a beautiful thing.
Just got to
Absolutely.
use it for the right reasons. That's all.
So, yeah, exactly.
The right reasons. That's
Exactly. Keep the drama to yourself.
Yep.
Right.
Keep your meals to yourself. Let's help the animals.
I agree.
All. Absolutely.
I'm all for it. So we have some pictures of some of the events that you've done.
Yes.
Zach, let's see those. And that's like such a beautiful sight to me. Like that alone gives me chills.
That was
I
probably
can just
one of
hear
the
them-
rodeos.
Yeah.
I can just hear like the bike starting up, you know. I mean, it does it. I get like Harley whiplash. I have to
Yeah.
admit, you know,
Yeah.
like you could be talking to me and I'll be like, huh?
Yeah, I do the same thing. You know,
terrible.
driving by.
But these are some of the things that you guys, now you host events and you attend events. Talk a little bit more about some of what, you know, you said you have the rodeo and you have adoption events. What else do you guys?
The rodeo is fun because we perform for the animals.
Yeah. yeah.
It's not the animals ever performing for us.
Yeah. So
We
you,
even
this
have
looks,
Santa.
you've got Santa.
Yeah, Santa pictures.
Santa.
Yep.
That's, I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah,
That's every year.
That's an
Every
annual event
Yeah,
as
every
well.
year. Yeah,
Okay.
in November at
Pet
Jangris.
photos, pet
Yes.
photos with
Harley,
Santa.
yep.
Okay.
right?
So we
For,
come down,
I
bring your
think it's
dogs.
$10 for the first one.
And
sorry.
so we do all of the pictures and we have other stuff. What do we have going on here?
This is one of the donations. People brought down supplies. We took
That's
a.
actually for Hurricane Sandy.
I was going to say, is that
Okay.
Hurricane Sandy? We did a huge
Okay.
thing for some of the shelters in New York that really got devastated.
Okay.
We had 4 or 5 trucks just
I believe
caravanning
it was
down.
8 trucks.
So you
out
just
there.
like
Trailers.
collected and
Yeah.
you helped the community
Yep.
for the
8
animals that were
trailers.
in need.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
there was a
really
lot of
awesome.
collections made
Yeah.
of water and things to that effect that even the animals needed
Yeah.
that weren't getting to the animals. So
Yeah, we
Yeah.
actually try to do a little bit of collect any event that we do have. We do have a collection spot. You know, take food, supplies, cleaning supplies,
Right.
Yeah,
like I said,
all
water,
the stuff
whatever.
at shelter or
Yeah,
people who are
old
caring
blankets.
for
You know,
animals. Yeah.
spring cleaning time. You know, we have some old blankets. Put them off to the side, bring them down.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, briefly, you've got one coming up next weekend.
Next Saturday.
Zach, let's get the poster up for next Saturday.
Yeah.
There we go. Some of it doesn't play well. It's too tall for the screen, maybe. But anyway, go ahead. Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
The event next weekend is Wolfstock. We'll have 4 bands. We'll be at Toads in New Haven
Okay.
from 1 to 6 o'clock, and I believe the doors open at noon. So it'll
Mike
be-
Lapatino from PLR is going to be our MC. It's going to be a really fun time. We're going to feed you. We're going to entertain you.
And there's free motorcycle parking while it lasts, right in
out
front
in
of
front.
Toads.
Right in front
And
of you.
that's important because
Absolutely.
you know.
Well, that's a rare thing to see, is a line of bikes parked all at once in New Haven.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, without tickets on them.
Yeah, well, you know, that's yeah, that's going to be probably a really great event. Hopefully, with some good weather, so the bikes can come out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It'll be a really fun event. It's going to be a
That's a
lot
great
going on
time.
that day.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
this is our 4th one.
It
It's our
is
4th annual Wolfstock.
okay. That's
Always hosted at Toad's Place.
yeah, that's another place I've never been. Believe it or not.
Right.
Historic
yeah,
place.
It's
I
a great
know.
venue for music. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
say I'm gonna go and do things sometimes, but I just don't get there. I'm not cool like that. Anyway, so if anybody wants any more information on how to get in touch with you, on what they can do to help, on how to get involved with being a member, how, again, we'll take the camera back, Zach.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh wait, look, we've got some more pictures that he's showing us now. What was this?
This is actually one of the, at the rodeo. At the rodeo, basically, we have guys on bikes and girls on the back, and they'll drive under the hot dog hanging on the string.
Okay.
We'll try to grab it or bite it off. They have other things like a tire toss, slow race,
Okay.
which who can drive in a certain area the slowest. So it's
Okay.
not nothing quick or nothing
Again,
like
there's a
that.
lot that goes on those days. We have face painting and
Yeah.
moonwalk for the kids, and there's all types of biker events.
The dog agility courses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we've got all this stuff that you guys do, and certainly we are not encouraging anybody to spend any money or do anything like that. So we're going to take the camera back, and here we are. Again, nobody's trying to encourage anybody to take part and spend money in any way, shape, or form. And we're going to wrap up the evening with, one more time, your contact information.
BikersAgainstAnimalCruelty.org.
And you've got Facebook pages as well.
We do.
Absolutely, yes.
So it's Bikers Against Animal Cruelty. You have a like page and a group page, I believe.
Yeah, the group page is actually just for members, but
Okay.
we have a public page as well.
Okay.
You know.
All right. So everybody who is interested can actually go online, find you, get in touch with you, find out more, become a member or a volunteer.
Yes.
And it'll be a beautiful thing, because
Yeah.
I know I'm going to do some new research now that I know you don't have to have a bite.
Yep. Yep.
It was such a bummer. I'm not even kidding you. It was horrible.
Well, now you
All
don't,
of us
now you don't have an
original.
excuse not to
Yeah,
join.
now does it
Absolutely.
count if you have like a license but no bite?
Either way, I mean, you can still be.
That'll get you some extra points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so a few brownie points are never a bad thing. Like I said, I bet everything but. Okay, so we're gonna say goodnight, and it's been an eventful show. We're gonna do just like I showed you. We're gonna say peace,
Peace,
Peace.
love,
Love.
and dogs.
And dogs.
And I thank you all again for coming on. It's certainly been an eventful show between technological difficulties and everything else, but you're more than
That's
welcome to
great.
come back anytime. I'd love to have you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you again for having us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
It's
much.
been my pleasure. Good night, everybody.